fellow YouTubers. This poor man coming at you from Sous Vide Prepping, and I'm doing a video response in reference to a call for video responses to the Real Fire Challenge by Boy in Blue and tactigirl Lola. So they both have some pretty cool channels. I've just now been following them. Going to be keeping a pretty low voice because I'm out in the middle of a condominium complex. So, but I'm going to do this little fire challenge, and it's in response to people setting themselves on fire. They're pouring chemicals or something like that, from what I understand, on themselves and lighting themselves on fire, and apparently people are getting hurt by this. So we're going to try and put some videos out there that are educational, teach people how to start fires and test out the stuff that you got anyway. So what I'm going to do is show you what I've got in my bags, and I keep these little discs. They are makeup discs for like women that put makeup on, and you soak them in some paraffin, and got some steel wool and some dryer lint and matches and a battery. Now this is actually the second take that I'm doing on this, because pretty interesting thing is I found out this steel wool, if you keep your bag with some steel wool thinking that you're going to spark it up with a 9-volt, no, I found out it doesn't last that long. I've had this in my pack for probably a year and a half. It won't light. I mean, you can stick a lighter to it and it won't light. And just to make sure, I even went and got the one that I had sealed up in a food saver bag that I, even before I put it in there, I lightly lubed it up with some rim oil. And it lit up like a champion when I did it, and now it doesn't. So keep that in mind. Just a little educational note. It's a good battery, but it won't spark up the steel wool after enough time. That's going to evaporate. And just to show you what I'm talking about, watch this make a fool out of me now. But here we go. I mean, you're not going to get a fire going like that. If that's not catching with a lighter, you're not going to do it with a battery. So, side note. Okay? Now, redundancy, that's the king. And now I do keep fire or windproof matches in my kit. This one's unopened, so I'm not going to break the seal on it, but they've got strikers down here, strikers in here. I've also got a waterproof one that I keep in my pack in the car. I'm just going to do one more little thing here, and the one that does work good is if you've got some matches, is the dryer lint. Say you only got one match, you put some chapstick on that, and that's going to burn for a good little while. I'm going to go ahead and blow it out, get this video going. But what I've chosen to do is actually probably the hardest one that I have, and that's taking one of these discs and rough it up to where you get some fuzz in the middle of that disc. And then we're gonna take a magnesium and strike it and get it lit. No matches, no lighter, backup only. And hopefully you've got that. Going to a stick and a bowstring, that'd be pretty rough. I want to stay above that curve. So let's go ahead and get this going. I'm going to adjust the angle of the camera. We're going to put our pad down. We're going to scratch off some magnesium. And I'm going to use this like a piece of paper. And we'll pour that magnesium onto that pad once we get a good little pile of it. So, let me get my knife out. Or one that's going to work good. Let's see what's... You want to get a good little pile. More than you think you're going to need. There's plenty of this bar on here. And what you want to make sure is you get a good pile. So that when you do catch a spark, it catches easy. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure you don't bump the pad with all the magnesium on it, of course, and send all your good stuff flying. So that's why you want a good sized little bundle of it. Now, these pads are real easy to make. Like I said, just a beauty pad from your wife or girlfriend's makeup kit, or for you ladies out there, your makeup kit, and just some paraffin, non-oily paraffin. Don't use a candle with lots of oil for perfume. Use straight tea candles or straight paraffin. It's easier to get them going. The oil makes it really hard to get that stuff going for some reason. So got us a good little pile here. Let's go ahead and give us a little spark here and see if we can get it going. And these are actually made to start with a match or a lighter. So you want to get that coal in the center going good. Get it to where it's burning that wax. Now once this catches and takes a fire, it will burn for about 10 minutes. Trying not to breathe on it. Alright, now we're going to be going. Oh, man. I did a video earlier, to be honest, and it was with the first set of these pads that I made, and it was really hard to get. It took me 20 minutes to get the thing going, and so that's one good thing about these videos is one thing about these VR responses, these video responses, challenging people to do something, it makes you go out there and test your skills. I'm living here in Detroit, in an urban environment. I don't get to do this very often. You know, I don't travel out just so I can go start a damn fire somewhere. But it's good to know that I can do it. Sorry about that, folks. And so I really appreciate it, Boy in Blue and tactigirl Lola. This is my example of making the Real Fire Challenge. There we go. And like, as you can see, this thing's gonna burn now. You know, now that I got it going, that's the hard part. I got time, I'm going to be able to build a good fire, even if it's damp, or, you know, the stuff around you is damp. This will be enough. It's going to burn for about 8 to 10 minutes. So that's why I chose this one as my challenge fire starter, rather than just, you know, some dryer lint within, and that's all good, you know, dryer lint and some chapstick, if you got a match and a lighter. But if you just got the magnesium bar, you know, you really need to go out and make sure you can do this, because it's for some people, it's not as easy as they think, especially if you got a shitty knife, or if you've never done it. You don't know how much of that magnesium you need. But as you can see, I barely made it, and I had a pretty good pile of magnesium. But because there's a lot of wax in this, it's going to burn a long time. So that's my VR. Thanks, tactigirl. I hope this does it for you. And Boy in Blue, thanks for the challenge, man. It's kind of a wake-up call. You know, I didn't have too much of a problem, but I learned that the high oil content wax ain't going to work. So I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take care. God bless America. And this is Poor Man coming from me from Subi Prepping. Just one more thing I forgot to add in there. You can get these signal flares. They're like a 5-minute flare, not a big old long road flare. You can pick them up at your you know, your local big box stores. Those W stores that are all over the place, without naming names. You can get a 2-pack for like, I think they're like, you know, $6. But I forgot to add that in there. It was, you know, in these stupid condominiums, you can't make too much noise outside after a certain time, so, you know, I was trying to get this thing done with, but I wanted to throw that in there. Those are some 5-minute flares that will definitely get your fire rolling, and I seal mine up in a food saver bag just to make sure they stay dry. Once again, you got the discs that you can make, your dryer lint with some chapstick, and always keep one of those things handy, just in case your ladder runs out, gets pressed somehow in your bag. And also, you know, it could be real windy. I had a little wind out there today. You saw me cupping my hands trying to shield that. So anyway, thanks again. This is Poor Man from the Subi Prepping, and subscribe if you like what you saw. Hope you enjoyed the Real Fire Challenge. Take care. God bless America, folks. Over.